Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a book haul. So I have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 books here that I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the book of the month books that I got this month because you've already seen them in my April TBR and my April wrap up. So I'm not going to talk about those. I'm just going to talk about the ones I haven't really talked about as much yet. There's one of them in here that I've read, but the rest of them I have not read. So where should we start? So some of these are from the used bookstore. Some of them are from my trip to Vegas, and some of them I just happened to get. Let's do the used bookstore ones first. Nope, let's do the girls trip ones first. Okay, so I went to Vegas on my girls trip. They're just so great, and they're that group of people that something happens, good, bad, ugly, and you just want to tell them, and you just know that they're going to be there for you, which is just so great. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, I found my people type of thing. So yeah, I just can't say enough good things about them. But we did spend one of our days in Vegas going book shopping, and of course I had to get a couple of books. So the first one I got was The Partner Plot, and this is also the book that I've already read. This is by Christina Forrest, and I got this because I read The Neighbor Favor last year, and I actually got it on Girls Trip, and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed that one. So I was like, well, this is set in Vegas, so I thought. And we're on Girls Trip, so let me get this in Vegas on Girls Trip, and it's about Vegas. Come to find out, very little of it happens in Vegas, like maybe 3 pages of it are in Vegas, but this is a second chance romance, but also a marriage of convenience. So if those are things that interest you, definitely check it out. Or if you liked The Neighbor Favor, Christina Forrest's writing is really easy to get through. So that's that one. And then also from Barnes & Noble, I got The Institution by Helen Fields. And I don't know how I saw this. I think I was just scrolling through Instagram and it was like on a publisher's Instagram or something. And when I saw it, I immediately went to Goodreads to read the description. And it didn't have a whole lot of reviews, but it did come out last year. But I saw it and I was like, this is a Lena book. On a locked ward in the world's highest security prison hospital, a scream shatters through the night. The next morning, a nurse's body is found and her daughter has been taken. Ransom must be paid and the clock is ticking. Forensic profiler Dr. Connie Woolwine is renowned for her ability to get inside the mind of a murderer. Now she must go deep undercover among the most deranged and dangerous men on earth to use her unique skills to find the baby before it's too late. But as the walls close in around her, can Connie get the killer before the institution gets her? It says that it's a claustrophobic, haunting crime thriller that will keep you up at night, perfect for those who couldn't put down The Sanatorium and Shutter Island. I DNF'd The Sanatorium, but I loved Shutter Island, and you guys know how I feel about asylum thrillers. Oh my goodness, it's like this is Lena in a book. And so I saw that, and then literally the next day we went book shopping in Vegas, and we were walking around Barnes & Noble, and I was like, what are the odds that they have this book? And then Jessie, like maybe 3 minutes later, was like, oh, Lena, here's the book you were telling us about last night. So she also got a copy, so we might be buddy reading this, but I really hope this is good. And even if it's not, I mean, we need more asylum institution thrillers in our lives. We all do. And the last book that I got from Barnes & Noble is End of Story by A.J. Finn. A.J. Finn wrote The Woman in the Window, and I love that book. It's one of my favorites. And this one, it says it's for fans of Knives Out, and I really liked that movie. But it sounds like it's about a mystery novelist, and he invites a correspondent to help him draft his life story. And then I guess maybe he's found dead. It says he finds himself caught up in an irresistible case of real-life detective fever. So then it looks like it maybe has multiple timelines as well, maybe a current day and then a 1999 timeline. Yeah, it says, I'll be dead in 3 months, come tell my story. You and I might even solve an old mystery or two. Life is hard, after all, it kills you. And look at that picture, look at that doggy! I absolutely love that. But yeah, so that does sound pretty good. It sounds like Riley Sager's book from last year a little bit. But yeah, super excited for that one. And then the last book that I got in Vegas is The Ice Cream Girls by Dorothy Koomson. And I got this at a used bookstore that we went to for like $3. I think the bookstore was called Coppercat Books. And this looks like historical fiction, but it's not. It is like current day. It's one of those things like 2 girls were suspects in high school of a murder. They were found to be not guilty, and then now years later they're trying to figure out what truly happened. So yeah, sounds like a pretty typical thriller, but I thought it was interesting and worth $3. Okay, now let's talk about the books that I got from a used bookstore. The first being The Neighbor's Secret by L. Allison Heller. And this was a book of the month pick from September 2021. And it was $4 in trade credit at the used bookstore. But this seems like a domestic thriller, like about a cul-de-sac. It seems like something tragic happens in this cul-de-sac and they're trying to figure it out. And the women of the Cottonwood Book Club agree on what's most important, protecting their children at any cost. So I think the ladies in this book club are about to solve some mysteries. And next we have The Accomplice by Lisa Lutz. This was $4 in trade credit and it's like a perfect condition, like brand new. And I loved Lisa Lutz's book. Which one was it? The Passenger. I loved The Passenger. I gave it 5 stars. So I'm excited to read another Lisa Lutz book. I don't really hear many people talking about this author. It sounds like 2 best friends and one of their wives is murdered. And it looks like a police investigation, some secrets. So, I mean, it's hard to tell with thriller synopses, but I'm hoping this is a good one. Next we have What She Left Behind by Ellen Marie Wiseman. Look at those deckled edges. If you know, you know. I have actually read this book. This was only 53 cents in trade credit, which is why I got it, because when I read it before, I actually just listened to it, the audio on Libby or something. But this is another asylum historical fiction. It's about a woman who part of her job is going through old artifacts and things that are in this old asylum that shut down, and so she goes through like the suitcases of patients that were dropped off at the asylum and passed away. And so she starts kind of solving some mysteries of things that happened as she's going through there. So it's dual timeline. It's current timeline, but then it's also 1929. And if you didn't know, Ellen Marie Wiseman wrote The Lost Girls of Willowbrook, the best book of all time. And I gave this one 3 stars when I read it before, but I think I just wasn't in like a great headspace. I think I was trying to get through it really quickly for like a prompt or something for my book club. So I just want to slow down and read it again physically. And then last we have The Child Finder by Renee Denfield. And this is one that I just saw it and thought that it was interesting. And that's one of the things I love about like used bookstores is you just pick things up and you just find them and you kind of get away from like the hype and advertising and things like that, and you just read synopsis and think, oh, that sounds good, and you take them home with you. Amazing, right? We used to do that. Wow, we barely do that anymore. But this was $2.20 in trade credit, and it's set in the Pacific Northwest, which I typically like that background in books. It looks like years ago a little girl disappeared in a national forest in Oregon, so they turned to a private investigator known as the Child Finder to kind of help find their daughter. And it seems like some more mysteries are uncovered as she's trying to find this little girl in this national forest. So it sounds pretty good, and that cover is gorgeous. And it's blurbed by Erin Morgenstern, which is the author of The Night Circus, so I'm wondering if there's like magical realism elements in it, which I'm not sure I'm gonna love, but it seems like atmospheric and literary, and I'm here for it. Okay, 2 more books to talk about. The first is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, and this was sent to me by my friend Jess Z. She's part of my book club. She and I were team leaders for a team challenge in March, and so she sent me this as like a thank you for putting up with her. Just kidding, she's the one that puts up with me, honestly. But this is kind of like the OG mental health asylum-y type of book. It's about Esther, who kind of has a mental breakdown and is kind of like towing the line between reality and insanity. But this is a modern classic. Sylvia Plath has won so many awards, and I've always wanted to read it and I never have, so I'm really excited to dive into this one. And then last but not least, we have Funny Story by Emily Henry, and this is the most recent Emily Henry book, and I got this at my local indie bookstore, and I actually got it this past Saturday, which was National Independent Bookstore Day, so they gave me a sticker, and since it's like the first week that this was out, they also gave me Emily Henry stickers, which they are so cute, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but they're adorable. And I got this little independent bookstore bookmark that has a little sticker from my indie bookstore. So yeah, I love going. I've gone to an indie bookstore the past like 3 or 4 years on Indie Bookstore Day, but I honestly don't really know what this book is about. But I'm hoping it's better than Happy Place, because we all know how I felt about Happy Place. It looks like it's maybe some fake dating to make some exes jealous. It seems like there's a lot going on in the synopsis, so I'm sure if you haven't already that you can read this. Okay, sorry if the angles changed a little bit. I got a phone call, but I don't remember what I was saying before that, but I'm excited to pick this one up. Let me know if you'll be reading the new Emily Henry book. If you've already read it, let me know what you've thought of it. But that completes my book haul. So those are all the books that I have acquired recently. But luckily I've been doing a good job of reading down my physical TBR, so I am bringing in as many as I'm reading, which is good. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!